Hi, in this video we are going to learn the program number 12. This program explains about the design and develop a code and run the program in any suitable language to implement an absolute letter grading procedure, making suitable assumptions, determine the basis path and using them derive different test cases. Execute these test cases and discuss the test result. This is the program definition. Based on this program definition, so we will going to write the requirement specification. The requirement specification we are going to write. So first one is R1. The system should accept the marks of the 6 subjects and each mark should be in the range of 1 to 100. For example, the subject 1 ranges will be 1 to 100, subject 2 similarly up to subject 6. This is the first requirement specification. So where the range of the marks should be in between 1 to 100. And the second requirement specification, compute the average of marks scored in all the 6 subjects and based on the average marks display the grade of the student. Based on the average score we have to display the grade of the student. This is about the requirement specification. These are the two requirement specification we have written based on this problem statement. Next, in the design, under this design specification, so the based on the average total score we are specifying the grade of the student. So the grade will be specified based on the following format. So if average marks lies in between uh, 0 to 35, the average marks is lies in between 0 to 35, then we will make it as a fail. Else, this is the class 2. If the average marks is greater than 35 and the average marks lies in between 40 to 35 to 40, then we will treat it as a grade C. Then if the average marks is greater than 40 and 50 up to 50, then the average grade will be a C plus. Then the average marks is in between 50 to 60, then the grade will be B. And average marks 60 to 70, the grade will be B plus. 70 to 80, average marks grade will be a A. 80 to 100, average marks grade will be A plus. This is the how we are going to design our program based on the average marks. How we will going to specify the grade. This is about designing. Either you can write in this fashion or else you can also write the algorithm for this. Then here is the code where we have considered all the 6 subjects like management entrepreneurship, Unix shell programming, file structure, computer networks 2, software testing, compiler design, and we need a average marks. And letter grading program, this will be the highlighted output result. Then we have to enter all the 6 subject marks. After entering the 6 subject marks, so we will going to check whether the marks are lies in between this range or not. What I told, so the mark should be lies in between 1 to 100. That is first requirement specification. If the first requirement specification is satisfying of all the 6 subjects, so if it is not satisfied, then we need to print up it is a fail. By default it is outside the range. Once it is outside the range, then we will treat it as a fail. So if the outside the range, the value should be within a range, else we will move to the last step, invalid data. Else what happens, so we will move to the next step. Then so if all the subject marks is less than 35, then so we will print the output result fail. There is no need to calculate the average marks. Directly for all the subject marks is less than 35, then we can write it as a fail. Then go to end. So then we are terminating. Then we will calculate the average marks of that. So average marks are is equal to what? All the 6 subject divided by 6, print of the average marks, then so here we are going to printing that marks based on this marks. So here we are accepting the marks. So after that we are checking these marks whether the marks ME is less than 35 or USB is less than 35 or FS is less than 35. So then we will calculate the average marks, then the average marks will be a calculated based on the average marks we need to give the grade. Now if average grade is greater than or equal to 35 and average marks is less than or equal to 40, means the average grade lies in between 35 to 40, then I need to print grade C. Else if average grade is lies in between 40 to 50, then I need to print C plus. Else if average grade is 40 to 50, then C plus, then average grade is 50 to 60, then grade B. If the average marks is 60 to 70, then grade B plus. Then else if the average marks is 70 to 80, then grade will be a A. Else if what happens? By default 80 to 100 means that indicates the grade A plus. This is how grade specification has been done. So based on the condition or designing. So next is by default what happens if these are all the grades are not satisfying, then it is an invalid data, then we are going to return the values whichever the value we have printed, then we will be closing the bracket with the end of the program. This is how about the program execution will be taken place or else program has been written. So now I'm testing. I need to do the testing on this program whether this program is correct or wrong. We have to use basis part testing. Okay, we have to determine the basis part testing so for this program, and then based on that we need to identify whether it is giving a correct output result or is there any bugs or whether we are getting a wrong output result. So that we will identify using a basis part testing technique. So basis part testing technique is nothing but already we know that it is a white box testing where we are checking the program specification, means the code or the program how they have written whether it gives correct output result or not. Now we will follow the MACAPS basis part testing technique. So under this MACAPS basis part testing technique, so we need to follow the 4 steps. One is we have to compute the program graph, then we have to calculate the cyclomatic complexity, then we have to select the basis set of path, and then last point is we have to generate the test cases for these paths. Now so we have already written a code and then we have specified the line number for this code. Then my next step is I need to write the program graph. Okay, so this is how we have drawn a program graph. Okay, so now my program graph started from the node 5 and it is ended with the node number 17. So 17 is nothing but you can see here these are all the sequential execution up to node number 17. But when I'll move to the node number 18, 18 is nothing but it is a conditional statement or looping conditional statement. Okay, now we'll check. So why we are started with the line number 5 and we stopped first data path in the line number 17. So now here you can see the line number 5 I told where our first printf for initialization of value will start. So from that line our program graph will start. This is the first line where we are printing a one statement on the computer screen. Therefore, so my execution or program graph will start from the line number 5. Then so line number 5 will execute, and then line number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You can see here up to line number 17 it is a sequential execution. So from the line number 5 to line number 17. Now when I move to the line number 18, 18 is the conditional statement where whatever the value we have inserted for all the 6 subjects, whether they are within a range or not. Within a range is nothing but 1 to 100. Okay, if it is 1 to 100, then so my step will be a 19 and 20, 21. It will be follow like that. Else we will be terminating the program by printing the end and return that values. Okay, so therefore now we will go to the, so I think all of you have seen this line number 18. It is a conditional statement. We'll move to the program. Now 18, if 18 is true, this condition is true, then I will move to the line number 19. If the 18 itself will be false, then I need to move to the line number 39. 39 is nothing but else part, where I am going to print a invalid data. Okay, why? Because all the values are outside the range, or any one of the value is outside the range, then I am going to print the printf statement where 39 line will execute and 40 line will execute and 41 that will going to terminate my program. Clear? So 39, 40, 41, and this will be ending with the 42 and 43. Now if the condition is true, then I need to move to the line number 19. Correct? What is there in the line number 19? The line number 19 is an opening bracket where I will going to check if the value, any value, all the 6 subject values are less than 35 or not. If it is less than 35, if we, then so I need to print fail. Else I need to go with the, so to calculate the average marks. Correct? So now check the condition. If a ME marks is less than 35, or USP marks is less than 35, or FS marks is less than 35, or CN2 marks is less than 35. So you check the condition. If the condition is true, then I need to execute 21, 22 and 23 and 24. Okay. If its condition is false, then I need to move to the to calculate the average marks. Okay. Then I need to move to the directly from this line to this line. Now you can see here my 18 is the condition is true, then I need to execute 19 and 20. Then I need to move to the line number 21. Okay, 22, 23 and 24. You can see here this side I have written 22, 23 and 24. It will be ending with the line number 42, where I am going to end with the program. 42 end return and 43. So now here, so if this condition line number 20 itself will be false, then I need to jump to calculate the average marks. Okay, that is the line number, so 25. This line number 25 so will explains about the, so to calculate the average marks. Once I have calculated the average marks, then I need to jump to calculate the printf statement and printing the average mark. Based on that, I need to specify the grade. To specify that grade, line number 25 calculated, line number 26 will execute, and we are checking in the line number 27 the condition whether the average grade value is within this range or not. Okay. Next, if the grade is within this range, then I will going to print, if average marks is within this range, then I will going to print the grade is 6. Else, I will move to the next step. That is, next step is from line 27 is, if it is false, then I will move to the line number 29. Then once again I will check whether the average marks is within this range or not, 40 to 50. Else I will move to the else if statement. I will move to the next, where the average marks is 50 to 60 or not. Else I will move to the 60 to 70. Else if, once again I will move to the check the condition in the line number 35, that is 70 to 80. Then so else I will going to print the grade A plus. This is how the execution will takes place. Every condition will have a one printf statement. If the condition is false, then I will move to the else if statement from the line number 25, 26. So after printing the 26th line, I will going to check the condition under line number 27. Now, so see here, line number 27, it is a conditional statement. If this condition is true, then I will print 28 and then I will end with the line number 38. If the condition is false, then else if condition. So once again 29 line number is the else if condition, where I will going to check the condition. If it is true, then I will move to the 30, else I will move to the, so one more condition, that is else if statement in the line number 31. That else if statement I will going to check in the line number 31. If it is true, then I will move to the line number 32. Else if the condition is false, then one more else if statement I will going to check, that is in the line number 33. If the line number 33, I will going to check the condition. If the condition is true, then I will go to the line number 34. Else, once again I will move to the next else if statement, that is in the line number 35. So the line number 35, once again it is also a conditional statement. I will going to check the condition. So if the condition is true, then I will print the 36 line. Else I will move to the 37 line. Then so by default, if all true or false, then I will move to the directly to the line number 38. What is there in the line number 38? The 38 is nothing but a end statement. So we are going to end. So the statement in the line number 38, if all the conditions are executed properly with respect to any of the path, then after execution of the 38, I need to move to the line number 30. So sorry, 42, and then I need to end with the 43. Now you can see here, after executing a 38, I need to move to the 42 and 43. So this is how I have written a program graph. Now next step is I need to move to the DD path table, and then I need to move to the DD path graph. So DD path table, all of you know that it is a starting edge, starting node is nothing but first node, end node is nothing but 43. Now you can see this graph, only one node is the entry node and one node is the exit node. There is one in between. The nodes are not ended. It is connected to any one of the other nodes. Okay, whatever the interior nodes are there, there is no any entry edge and exit edge is not left it blank. Exit edge is there, that is connected to a last edge, that is only one sync node is there, only one source node is there. Therefore this is what a DD path graph. Actually according to our definition, it is satisfying. Now node number 5 I will make it as a first, and node number 43 I will make it as a last. In between nodes are there 6 to 17. So we are condensing that and then we are replacing with the name A. Like that you can condense and then you can replace with the name. 5 is the first, 6 to 17 is the A, 18 is the B, 19 is C, 21 to 24 I can condense, 25 to 26 I can condense. Okay, so then 39 to 41 I can combine together and make it as a one node, that is S node, and 42 and 43 is the last node. Here how I have written a DD path name for the nodes of the program graph. After writing this, I need to replace these values with these characters. The same graph I will redraw. So by replacing the name of A, B, C, D and first to last. Okay, and whichever the nodes were there, line number 6 to line number 17, that I have included here, that is replaced by a name, sorry, node number A. And similarly you can see 39 to 41, that is replaced with the node number S. Node number S will be indicating that nodes. Okay, similarly, so here one more is there where I have condensed 21 to 24, 25 to 26. Those are all the nodes will be replaced by a name E and F. So these are the name. So you can see A, B, C, E and F. These two are the nodes where we have condensed. After drawing this, so you please mention the numbers for edges. How many edges are there and how many nodes are there? Please count. After counting that only, so we'll move to the calculation of the cyclomatic complexity. I told in the last video why we need a cyclomatic complexity. To identify linearly independent path, we required a cyclomatic complexity. The formula to calculate the cyclomatic complexity, we are using V of G equal to E minus N plus 2P, where E is nothing but number of edges, N is nothing but number of nodes, and P is nothing but number of connected regions. So here, so from the DD path graph, number of edges are 28 edges are there, you can have a count, and number of nodes are there, 22 nodes are there, and number of connected region, only one connected region, 2 into 1. So which where I'm going to generate 8 linearly independent path. Okay, to calculate 8 linearly independent path, or else 8 linear independent paths are existed in this particular graph. Okay, sir, how to identify these linearly independent path? I told in the last program only. How to identify means it has to give some meaning. I'll tell you one example. So basically we are having a how many grades. First you need to identify the program generally. So here you can see, so you may expect the output result based on this. One is fail class, okay, one more is C, so one more is C plus plus, sorry C plus, one more is B, one more is B plus, and one more is A, and one more is A plus, correct? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, here 7 paths are already identified, or else you need to specify the path in this manner only. You have to identify how many output result you are getting. Based on that only you need to specify the path. Here you can see all the 7 paths are got over, correct? So in some cases one more path is there where it is invalid, purely it is invalid, where it is not specified properly that values, then we will call it as an invalid inputs. I will tell you, if you are specifying the values like -1, -2, 120 means invalid inputs of lower end and upper bound. So this is what testing, what we are writing the test cases for that. Here you can see ME is -1, ST is 120. So these two are above the boundaries, okay, which are not within a input range, okay. But here, so you can see we are going to test this path. So first you have to identify this path. When the data will flows from this node to this node through these interior nodes, that is A, B, C, D, E, T, then so the all the values are less than 35. It means, so whichever the score a student has scored in all the 6 subjects, all the 6 subject scores are less than 35. If it is less than 35, then my first condition is what? So it should display that expected output result fail. Means all the 6 subject value you need to specify all the values should be less than 35 and greater than 1. In such a way that you need to specify the values. Second, if I am traversing, my data inputs are traversing through this path, that is first A, B, C, D, F, G, H, R, T, then so my grade will be a C. To specify this grade, average mark should come within the 35 to 40. So you can see all the values or subject scores are there, that are all comes under the 35 to 40 range itself only. Then average marks will also comes within this range only. Therefore the grade value will be C. My next path will be a path P3. The path P3 we have selected in such a way that where I need to get a average marks or average grade marks, so should be a C plus. C plus is nothing but the marks will be lies in between, or average marks will be lies in between 40 to 50. Now you can see all the subject marks I have specified the values which are lies in between 40 to 50. You need to specify, then obviously we will going to get the grade is C plus grade. When I am specifying these input variable values, then I am traversing through this path. My input values are there, those input values are touching these nodes or execution of these lines. When these lines are executed, then my path will be a P3, then I am getting a grade C plus. Similarly, so path P4, when I'm inputs are traversing through this path, then automatically my grade output grade will be a B plus, or sorry B. B is nothing but 50 to 60 range. All the input variable values you need to specify subject marks should be within that range, that is 50 to 60. Once if you specify this, then my the path which data will be traversing, that is P4 path. Similarly, then the data path will be P5. If the P5 path if we have selected, then the value should be within the range, that is 60 to 70. All the value you can see path P5 that are all within the 60 to 70, then my grade will be, I am going to get a B plus grade. Then it indicates that I have traversed through this path. Then so sixth path is there. Sixth path, if my values are 70 to 80, then so 70 to 80 it indicates that grade A. The grade A is nothing but my sixth path. Now I am traversing, or data inputs are traversing through this path, or execution through this path. Therefore, this is the path where I am going to get the output result as a uh, A grade. So if data will be traversing greater than 80 to 100, then my last path will be a P7 path. P7 path, if the data inputs are traversing through these nodes, then my path will be a last path, that is seventh path. That is, all the values are there here, subject scores are there, that are all lies in between 80 to 100. Then automatically the grade value I am going to get it as a A plus. Therefore, so last test case I have told how to write this test case. The at least one or two subjects value should be lower invalid input variable. So I told invalid input variables are nothing but the value should not be a subject value, should not be lies in between 1 to 100. Either the value can be a -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, or so 101, 102, 103, 104, or more than that. Those values we are calling it as an invalid input variable for this program. If those values, if we specify, then my path will be a last path. That path is P8 path. If whenever I am specifying those values, then I am traversing through this path. So please remember, students, while writing or while identifying the path, either you have to identify based on this test case tables, or else how you have written this path, based on that you have to write the test cases. For sometimes what happens, so you have written a P4 path as a P1, then this should be a input, means the value should lies in between 50 to 60, then output result will be a grade B first. Okay, so P4. Now here for me my path is P4. Okay, path P4 I am written like this. Okay, that is first A, B, C, D, F, G. If you are writing this path, so in the P1 place, then here this test case should come. This test case should come here, and this test case you have to write it here. Means, so where which path you have written as a P1 or as a P2 or as a P4 or P5, based on that only you need to write the test case table, else it will be a wrong. Okay, here when we will go through with this path, we are not getting a correct output result. For example, I will tell you here P1 path. Consider the P1 path. Here I have written this is the P1, actually P1 path. Instead of writing this, so this path I have written over here. This path is nothing but what? P4 path. P4 path where I am getting a output result as a B, correct? So this path I will write it here, and input I am giving like 22, 12, 20, 21, 22, 25. So whether when I specify these input, so the values are passing through these nodes? No. Why? Because all the values are less than 35. When it is less than 35, this path will becomes wrong, which you specified in the P1. Therefore, please very careful while specifying the path or while writing the path. According to that only you need to write the test case table. Once if you are written test case table, then you have to write the test case report. How many number of test cases are executed, defects are raised, how many number of test cases are passed, and how many number of test case fail. This is about how program number 12, how you have to write and how you have to draw the DD path graph, DD path table, and then program graph, and then how to identify the test case. Please student, feel free. Is there any queries? Please ping me. So, and as well as like the video, subscribe the video, and please comment on my topic. Thank you.